Hi, I'm Chase Benson, and you're watching Where You Live. Welcome back to the show, and as I said, I'm Chase Benson. Today we're talking with Maureen and Ron from the Billy Barker Days Society. Thanks guys for being on the show.
Our pleasure.
So, I've lived in Connell for about 3 years now, but I've only been to Billy Barker Days twice. I never actually realized how big of an event and festival that this is. So for people that don't know too much about it and people that might have just moved here, what generally happens on Billy Barker Days?
Well, it's a 4-day event, always the third full weekend of July. It started off being an offshoot of a summer festival using the theme from our nearby town of Barkerville. But really, it is a summer festival. It's considered the largest free family festival in British Columbia, especially when you consider all the stage entertainment. And that is sort of the main draw, is the 4 days of stage entertainment up here from 10, 11 in the morning right through until dark. The parade, of course, Saturday morning through North Connell is another event that we sponsor. And the fireworks close it off on Sunday evening. That also is handled by our society. But our society is an umbrella group for a lot of other nonprofit groups holding events on the same weekend, knowing that people are coming here either returning to Connell or just making a point of attending the various free events. There is the auto racing with the Crash to Pass up the hill. We have the largest amateur rodeo on Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, of course, in our rodeo grounds run by the Rodeo Club. The Downtown Association has a great vendors table walk for 2 blocks of our downtown street called the Gold Dust Mall, and they also have a stage with free entertainment. So it is a busy weekend, and it's just developed over the last 43 years to what it is today on our 44th.
Wow, so this is the 44th?
It's the 44th.
You mentioned it's the largest free festival.
Considered the largest free family festival in BC. There's a lot of festivals that are bigger, but they all have entertainment that you pay to see. Or they would have other events. Now, granted, everything isn't free for Billy Barker Days, but the parts that the society does are mainly free. I mean, the auto racing, you're going to pay a gate admission to the Auto Racing Association, and the Rodeo Club, of course, they pay to have all their stock brought in, and the rodeo riders come there for prizes. But we also pay all the people on stage here. People think that because a lot of them are local entertainers, they don't get paid. They all get paid. Not huge amounts, other than our headliners, but they all get paid for the 4 days, and yet any person in Connell can stroll into this park at any time, set down your lawn chair and your coffee, and enjoy anywhere from 1 to 8 hours of entertainment.
That's crazy.
Without fee.
So how are you guys able to manage that? Like all of the it being free and everything for obviously it would cost a lot generally to have such a big event happen.
Our budget's $150,000 for just the parts that we do.
Yeah.
And it is mainly our corporate sponsorships. Once the program is out, we sell it for $1, and you will see, along with all the events, it'll show the list of all the sponsors who donate anything from $25 to $2,500, either cash or in kind, to pay things like the entertainment, to pay right down to things like the porta potties that we have throughout the parade, to pay the expenses of the bands that will come from out of town to walk in our parade. They get expenses paid, they get their meals covered, and then there's our headliners, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Those headliners are all paid in the thousands to attend here, as well as their meals and hotel accommodation, all covered by our sponsors or by money our sponsors have given us.
Wow, perfect example of our community that we have here in Connell.
It's fantastic community sponsorship. That's never declined. Getting volunteers goes up and down over the years, and getting some of the events decline or increase depending on the years, but our sponsorships have been fantastic.
Is the Billy Barker Days Festival run mostly by volunteers?
Well, other than our 2 paid staff that we have for 3 months sitting in our little yellow building next door to the visitor center, we pay to do this.
Wow.
A lot of us take a week of holidays, those that still work. We take holiday time in order to be here 24 hours a day to do this.
So how did the Billy Barker's Day Festival start out?
That would be a wrong question.
Apparently, 44 years ago, the city decided that they wanted to have some kind of an event that would put Connell on the map. And they came up with the Billy Barker Days, and which was kind of, as Maureen had mentioned earlier, a bit of an offshoot from Barkerville. And even though it's very, very separate, we used the Barkerville Gold Rush as our theme. And that's about as far as it goes. But that's kind of how it started in 1974, and it's come a long ways.
What has been the evolution of the Billy Barker Days? Like, was it anywhere near how big it is now?
Well, certainly, it wasn't as big as what it is right now, and a number of the events have changed over the years. You know, you try an event, and it might go for 2 or 3, 5, 10 years, and then people get a little bored of it, so you have to switch over and do something else. I mean, we had the porta potty race, which was down Front Street, and it did pretty good for about 3 years, and then the interest died off, and we had to go to something else. So you've always got to kind of keep it fresh if you can, and then yet still do something that people like.
Is there anything brand new that's happening this year opposed from last year?
Other than entertainers, you know, the headliners we bring in, we rarely see the same one twice. So our out-of-town headliners are certainly new, and there will be local bands that have never played on stage before, but the general events are the same. Yeah, same events, different participants.
So for the parade and everything, what ends up going on when that happens?
The parade comes on at 10 o'clock on Saturday, and it's been going on for many, many years as well as this festival. And it's run through North Connell. It's people get out there, and everybody from kids on bikes to bigger floats, and we of course always encourage people in Connell to come on out, and if not watch, be part of it.
No entry fee, also free.
I remember last year when Shaw ended up going into the thing, I ended up going into the bucket on top of the van.
That was you.
Yeah, with the camera shooting everybody. But yeah, no, it's a great event, and it's also really fun. I can't believe how many people actually end up like coming, like you just all the way through the entire parade, people are just covering the street.
You don't really notice it until when I became president. That's the first time I actually was in the parade. And you don't realize, I mean, it's 10 deep in some spots in the downtown Connell.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And we hear that from visiting bands, that how many people line the streets to watch the parade.
Yeah. So during, like, obviously the entertainment and everything, is the parade going, or the carnival going on at the same time as the entertainment, or?
Yes, it is. And of course the carnival sits right over here. It takes up about half of the field. And they are a wonderful group out of Langley that come up here every year, and they've been coming for, I think it's 23 years now. Wow. And they're just wonderful people, and you know, they're really good with little kids and that sort of thing that are maybe a little afraid of the rides, and they do take great care of the kids on the rides.
So while people are having their entertainment and everything, obviously you said that there's a bunch of concessions and everything.
Yes.
How many usually end up setting up?
I try to get between 9 and 10 concessions and try to have a pretty varied menu. You know, for this year we have a Filipino concession and an East Indian concession, along with some of the ones from years gone by, which was the hamburgers and donuts, lemonade, always a favorite.
Yes.
And even salads. If the ladies like a salad, you'll get a salad.
And there's just food concessions here. Any other vendors that are from in town or out of town that want to sell their wares or promote a service, it's all up at the Gold Dust Mall on Reed Street, that street closure area. All that's here is food concessions around the stage.
Yeah.
Every year there are metal buttons with a number on them. Up till, was it last year or the year before? I think last year we started having to have cards. So now it used to be you bought the button, it was your number, nobody knew who had that number, and we would do a draw on the Sunday afternoon on the stage of the 3 prize winners that would win the gold nugget prize or the equivalent in cash. And up till 2 years ago, that you had to track down the winning number. And if it wasn't claimed the following year, we would have to donate that money to another nonprofit group. 2 years ago, they have now required there's a little card. So when you buy your Billy button, you get to choose your number, because they'll still draw a number, but every number will now be attached to a name and an address and a contact number.
Oh, perfect.
So it takes some of the excitement out of it, but we now know who wins right on the stage on Sunday night. And those 3 people are then tracked down to come and pick up their gold nugget pan or the equivalent check for cash.
And the good thing about that is that, if through all the excitement of the weekend you lose your button, we'll come to you and tell you you won.
Oh, that's good.
It used to be you had to have your button, you had to track down the winning numbers, and then find us to get your prize.
Oh, man.
That's changed. The Lottery Commission is getting a lot stricter, as are a lot of the events. A lot of the events we had years ago, we didn't just die because of lack of enthusiasm. A lot of them died because there was a hazard problem, there was a safety liability issue. As things progress, there's more rules and more regulations that have to be followed to do that. And that fundraiser, the Billy Buttons, is one of our better fundraising that doesn't involve corporate sponsorships. We also have a 50-50 draw here at the final entertainment each night. So usually from between 5 and 6 at night on till when the entertainment is over at 9 o'clock, there will be a 50-50 draw done, and that again will be drawn on the stage after the headliners finish for the night. And our headliners this year, we have a young lady doing country music, original country music. She has been in Nashville. She's been an opener for some of the larger acts. So she'll be doing the final show on Thursday night. Her name is Ashlyn Vince. And she'll also be the pre-headliner entertainment Friday and Saturday night. And our headliner on Friday night is a group called the Big River Band. They are a Johnny Cash tribute band, so they're for Friday, get your country music going, 7:30 on. And Saturday night will be a rock and roll band called Peter Ettinger Band from the Lower Mainland.
Wow.
So those are what we call our quote-unquote headliners. There'll be out-of-town groups. They'll be playing a good hour-and-a-half set rather than a 30 or 40-minute set that the local bands will be playing. But there will be a 50-50 draw during that time, and it certainly isn't the type of money that they get at the Crash to Pass 50-50 draw, but you're still going to make $1,500, $2,000 if you buy a ticket.
Wow. So around how many entertainers will end up coming to this event in total?
Well, that's a good question. The entertainment starts about 10 o'clock on Thursday and Friday, goes to dark. Saturday, it doesn't start until after the parade, so 11:30, 12, you'll have your opening ceremonies with the dignitaries, and then the bands will go till dark. Sunday is a short day, but every hour there's a different act on. So from 10 or 11 in the morning right through to dark.
Holy cow.
With Sunday being a shorter day, usually there's a church service till noon with entertainment, and then from noon till about 5:30 there's entertainment, and then the draws will happen, and it'll all be shut down and closing off at 6 o'clock. This park will be full of 20-foot by 20-foot tents, which we own and rent out to non-festival times.
Huh.
So there will be a lot of shade for people to sit and watch the entertainment. And we have Kids Day on Friday from 10 until 2, where the acts will be generated toward kids, and there will be free events going on underneath the tents all that time. And Seniors Day is Thursday, again 10 till 2-ish. It'll be an older genre type entertainment on the stage, and the seniors will be getting their little tea and snacks free under the tents. So it's busy, but you have to, as far as your question, how many acts? However many acts, however many hours there are in the day, times, there'll be a different act every hour.
Wow, that's absolutely crazy.
I should mention that we did pass over parade a little bit. The Grand Prairie Marching Band is coming back again this year, which they generally show up about every 3 years, and we're quite glad to see them back again. Also, the Kamloops Rube Band, if anybody remembers them, they've been here before, and they're just a happy-go-lucky jazz
act.
band,
Yeah.
and they're pretty funny.
And don't they have a kazoos in that too? in
Yes,
there?
yeah,
Yes.
they have
It'll be entertaining.
toilet plungers and different things like that, you know.
And it's hard to get out-of-town bands to come, even when you are willing to pay their expenses and find them a place to stay, just because of the costs. It's getting more and more expensive to rent a bus and to get 10 or 20 people together to come as a group from hundreds of miles away.
Yeah.
But we do our best, and the local entertainment does their best to fill up the parade route to cover the space. It's usually pretty close to an hour of entertainment in the wandering through the downtown and North Connell streets.
How are people able to possibly get into the parade?
They go to our little office again, or phone us at 992-1234. Again, a unique number that we've managed to keep for 44 years. And they enter the parade. There's parade forms to fill out to be part of the parade. Entertainment as well contacts the office.
Again, the parade, and you can enter the parade free, of
Yes.
course. Everything's free. No, I shouldn't say everything's free, almost everything.
Yes.
We should touch on the fireworks Sunday night. We
Yes.
wrap it all up at about 10:15. And if anybody's seen last year's fireworks, we're going to try and top it this year because last year was phenomenal. It's just, well, we got a new location being over on the west Connell side of the river. And so we shoot over into the water. And in fact, we even have a number of fireworks that they float them in the river and come down to a certain place, and then they fire off. We had that last year, if you may or may not have noticed. The best viewing area would be on this side of the river, down where the big old black steam shovel is. Down in that area, what they call a sandy dump, is the best on this side of the river. So you got clear view, no trees in the way, and it's just made such a difference for the fireworks.
Or on the bridges, although going on the Moffat Bridge with the traffic still flowing can be a little tricky. You have to be careful, but I know that's where I watched it, and I got to see all the fireworks that were right on the water.
Wow.
That's the best view if you're right on the bridge watching them.
One thing I would like to stress that do not go down where they're firing off the fireworks, because and it's going to be all ribboned off. If you get inside that ribbon, the fireworks stop, because it is law that you have a perimeter to set the fireworks off in, and if there's anybody inside that perimeter that's not supposed to be there, it stops.
Yeah.
And it almost happened last year, so that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. These are not local people or local firemen putting on fireworks. These are professional grade fireworks that are brought from
Kamloops.
Kamloops, and a professional crew that's here for 3 nights, 3 days.
Couple.
Yeah. So but it's not something where you can come and have an up close look, because you just shut the whole fireworks off, and we'll have paid for something we're not going to see.
Are the fireworks for just one day or
Yeah.
throughout the
Sunday
3 days?
night only. Oh yeah. At that price, you don't have it more than one day. No, that's the equivalent to about half of the total cost of our entertainment this year for that 15 minutes of fireworks.
Wow.
Oh, it's not cheap.
So, where would people look if they wanted to find out more information on Billy Barker Days, if there's anything that we ended up missing?
You can go to our website or buy a program. Our programs at the end of June, they should be available in our office when we're open, 8:30 to 5:30 weekdays. Plus the Billy Barker booth, our little wooden box on wheels, will be downtown by the post office starting June the 27th, weekdays, 11 to 4:30. And of course it'll be in the park once the festival moves to the park.
And the stores, I believe.
Yes, and stores, yes, various supermarkets and that sell them for us as well. So it's a $1 program, not very expensive.
All right, guys, don't miss it. July 13th through 16th. I'm Chase Benson, and you're watching Where You Live.